Alright. We'll wait some time. Have a couple people filter in here. Welcome. Why aren't you vegan yet? You know what? I didn't check to make sure I had my water. Oops. Just keep that down there. Why aren't you vegan yet? So, animals, they're sentient just like you. They have the capacity to feel pain, to experience a subjective experience, and to make preferences on that. Excuse me, let me drink some water. I haven't really said much this morning, so my voice hasn't been used. Excuse me. So yeah, animals are sentient. They feel pain. They want to live. You know, they're innocent. We wouldn't put our worst humans through the systems that we put innocent animals through. Why are we doing this? Why don't we just live vegan? Why don't you live vegan? That's my question today. Why aren't you vegan? Fish can think. They are sentient. Hey, Dex, you gotta be over 18. Are you over 18?
Yep, I'm 20.
Perfect. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I do enjoy shooting and gutting a deer for me and my family to eat.
Okay, so if there was like a kid in your neighborhood that you saw was shooting and gutting like cats and dogs, would you think that's healthy behavior?
No, because you're not eating it. It's unnecessary death.
And why is that immoral?
Because it's unnecessary death.
Okay. Is it, would you say that losing your life is a form of like almost like suffering? You're losing everything?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So if you could live without using the animals, wouldn't it be better then to not use them?
No.
Why is it better to use them?
For one, because our meats, especially from the supermarket, are pumped with a bunch of antibiotics and things that are horrible for the human body. And
Dexy, I'm
secondly,
talking about all animals. Doesn't matter if they're in nature, if they're in a farm. They all are
yeah,
sentient.
yeah,
Do you
because
know what? Do you know what? Do you know what sentience is?
yeah. Well, you asked
What
me a
is it?
question, and I'm going to answer it. So the animals are, they're a great source of protein. They're a great source
Do
whenever
you
you
know
go
what's
hunting, kill
sentience,
an animal.
Dexy?
Doesn't
What's
matter what
sentience?
sentience is. I'm trying to answer the
What's
first question you
sentience?
asked. I'm trying
Well,
to
you
answer the
can't
first
answer
question you
any
asked. Would you like
questions.
the answer?
Have a good day. Have a good day, Dexy. You're getting a little too worked up. Calm down. Death dealer. You got to be over 18. Hold
Yeah,
up.
I'm over 18.
Right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I like meat and I consider myself a predator.
Okay. So do you recognize that animals are sentient?
No, they are sentient. I recognize that, yeah.
Can you tell me what sentience means?
It means they have a life and a soul.
I don't know about a soul, but it means that they're experiencing life. They're having a
Yeah,
subjective experience, right? They're
just
weighing
like
out
you
those
and me.
exactly. We weigh out our
Hmm.
experiences and we make preferences. So what is it from animals that you think you need from them that you can't get like on a plant-based diet?
Yeah, protein, creatine, a lot of vitamins and minerals.
Okay. Well, I've been vegan for 9 years now, and I'm okay. You can get
Hmm.
everything you need on a plant-based diet. Um, you said creatine. That's not an essential um, something we need, but you can get vegan creatine. That does exist. Protein is in every single plant. So as long as you eat enough calories, you'll get all
But
your
let me
needed
ask you, why
protein.
do why do certain animals eat plants only?
Because that's just what they've evolved to do.
And why did they evolve that way?
It was successful
It was successful just to eat plants.
for them,
But
yeah.
those animals given the chance will eat meat and will kill another
Yeah.
animal to eat it,
Do you know what a moral agent is?
you know. So I've evolved just like any other predator to eat
Do you
meat.
know do you know what a moral agent is?
I know. Oh, tell me what a moral agent is for you.
A moral agent is someone who understands morality. We can weigh out what's right and wrong. We have
Hmm.
experiences and we weigh out if it's morally correct or not in our own perspective. There's also something called a moral patient. Do you know what a moral
Hmm.
patient is? So
No, I never heard of that one.
a moral patient is someone who may be sentient, might have some idea of morality, maybe not, but they're still sentient. They're still experiencing the world. They still have preferences, much like a
Hmm.
child. Children don't
Hmm.
necessarily have morality. They don't necessarily not have morality, right? They don't really fully understand it. And we
Hmm.
don't hold them to the same standard. And it would be immoral for an adult who does have moral agency to take advantage of someone just because they don't have moral agency, right?
Okay.
So I think that as moral agents, someone who has the understanding of what's right and wrong, we have a moral obligation to moral patients to, at minimum, not exploit them.
But I don't think it's wrong. So then my moral
Why is
aspects
it
would be fine. Because
so?
animals do it,
Why?
why can't I do it? I mean, are you
I
going to
just
try to make
explained
every
it to
animal
you.
on Earth? Are you going to try to make a
I just
lion a
did you
vegetarian?
hear anything I said?
Yeah, it's
Do
something
you
about
can you think
morality,
for
but that's your
yourself?
moral
Can you
actors.
think for yourself?
Yes,
Can you weigh out what's right and wrong?
yes,
Would it be immoral for you to take advantage of a child?
yes,
Why?
because they're a child.
Yeah, but why? I agree
Because they
with
don't
you,
know
but
any
can you
better.
tell me why?
Because they don't
Is
know
it
any
because
better.
they no, it would be immoral because they're having their own subjective experience, and for you to
Hmm.
force your purpose on somebody else is immoral. Just like it would be immoral for me to force my
So
purpose onto
so you're
you.
saying that every animal that kills is immoral.
I'm saying, yeah, that is immoral, but they're doing what they need to survive because they don't have grocery stores. They don't have options. They don't
I
have
know
the
I can go to
time
the
or
grocery store.
capacity.
That's why I don't kill animals anymore because I can go to the grocery store and buy it.
Yeah, but my point is you don't
And they're
need to
killed
demand that
humanely. So it's
you
morally
don't
killed.
Death, do you want to talk or do you just want to talk over me?
No, I'm listening, but you're not
So
letting me talk.
what I'm talking about are the animals you use. You don't need to use them. And you can eat something else. Let me give you an example. Let's say I have a dog here and I'm going to kick them for my entertainment and exercise. Do you
Hmm.
find that moral?
No, I just fucking kill you.
Right. I agree with you that don't use the K word, say unalive if you're going to say that. But I
No,
agree,
you
I shouldn't
morally
be.
triggered people. Ugh,
No,
but
it's
anyways,
TikTok rules. It's TikTok rules. So if I'm kicking this dog for entertainment and exercise, do you find that moral? I'm going to start over.
no, but why would you do that?
Okay,
That's
great.
just wrong.
Because I get the benefit of exercise and entertainment. I agree with you, though. It's immoral. Can
Okay,
you tell me why it's immoral?
because you're hurting an animal,
Right.
but I'm
Exactly.
not hurting an animal. I kill them
So
humanely
tell me what is
and
worse.
fast.
Can you listen to me? Tell
Yeah.
me what is worse, being kicked in the shin or having your life taken from you when you wanted to live?
Well, of course, the answer is, of course, having your life taken, But if it comes
So
down
what
to
do you
my
think
life
you're
or their life,
doing
I'm
when
taking their
it's
life.
not that though. It's not
Yeah, it
that
is. It's
though.
my priority. It's
You
human
just
survival.
said you can go to the grocery store. You don't need to sit out in the woods and take someone's life who's just enjoying their day in their own home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm here. I'm telling you, you don't need to use animals. You're literally kicking a dog for entertainment and pleasure.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
I don't like vegetables. I don't like eating grass. I
Okay,
don't
so
like
what I
eating
would,
what my meat,
I
what
hear
my
you. I
food poops
understand.
on.
Change is hard. I understand. And as an adult, it's hard to eat your vegetables. I get it. So, what I would suggest to you, you should go to Challenge 22 and you can talk to a registered dietitian for free. They have 2,000 to 8,000 hours focused on how diet affects your health specifically. And what's great about Challenge 22, they help you for 22 days. They tell you what products are in your area that fit your needs and your preferences and your budget. Super
Okay.
easy.
That's super
And that's
easy.
it's a super easy resource. Just challenge22.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So why did you become a vegan? I want to know. And
Because I
what I
recognize
also want to know is maybe you can help me with is why are vegans always around running and tooting their horn to everybody to be a vegan? When you
it's
don't
funny
see
that you
every
say
carnivore, when you don't see
that.
every
Look,
carnivore running around doing that.
I get it that you're triggered. You're upset that I'm telling you you can't do something. I understand. The last time you probably thought about animals like this, you were a child. So that's what's coming up right now is the childish, I don't want to do it, instead of being a logical adult and hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying you're kicking dogs for entertainment. You're removing someone's head to lick their bare muscle. You don't need to do it. I've got professionals that will help you figure out what to eat instead. But I'm telling you, you can stop kicking dogs now. You don't need to do it. And vegans are telling you that because you're kicking dogs. Does that make sense? You just said if I was kicking a dog, what would you do to me? You would unalive me. You would attack me. You would stop me. Guess what vegans are trying to tell you? You're kicking dogs. Stop it. All right. You have a good day. I'm done talking to you. Go watch Dominion. Go watch what you demand for when you go to the grocery store. I'm done talking to you. Wow. Hello, people. Micah, are you over 18?
I'm 36, yes.
Perfect. Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I mean, it's that simple. I just love bacon and chicken, and
It's just
honestly,
taste pleasure.
I just have this. I feel like I have this natural instinct that craves meat.
I mean, you probably have a habit of it, sure, but is it just taste pleasure? Have you not thought about what veganism is?
Yeah, vegan. I'm familiar with it. Yes.
What does veganism mean? At least,
I
what's your
mean, it's
understanding?
basically eating something that doesn't involve meat.
Veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of sentient beings, and a plant-based diet just happens to be the best way to avoid exploiting someone. So it's one part of our life. So my question to you is, why are you not against oppression and exploitation?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I'm just I wasn't really aware of it. I mean, and plus, I mean, don't. I mean, I hope I'm no. I mean, no offense, but I just believe in the food chain.
Right, but do you know? I don't know how long you've been waiting in the queue, but do you know what a moral agent is?
No.
So a moral agent is someone who understands what morality is, or at least they can weigh out what's right and wrong when they have an experience. And there's something also called a moral patient, someone who may have an idea of what morality is, but most often they don't, or they just don't have the time or capacity to do so. Children are an example. They don't always understand morality. They are growing, but they don't fully understand it. And sometimes they do immoral things, but that doesn't mean that they themselves are immoral people. They just don't fully understand, right? And it would be immoral for an adult to take advantage of a child just because they're not as aware as the adult, right?
Um. I guess.
Okay, so I'm saying that the way that we make carve outs for children or other beings that don't have the same cognition as us, I'm saying the animals are no different. They're having a subjective experience. They may not understand what morality is, but they themselves are just trying to survive a harsh environment. So we can't look to animals for our moral guidance. We're the
Is
moral
it okay if I
agents.
ask you
We're the ones
something?
that,
I'm sorry, I didn't
yeah.
mean to cut you off. It's
No,
okay
go
if I ask you
ahead.
something. Um, I mean, sure. Okay, quick question. Say if the whole world decided to go vegan, wouldn't you be concerned with the overpopulation of animals?
No, actually, a couple of reasons. One, the world will never go vegan overnight. And if they did, that would mean everyone's mindset is that they don't want to exploit animals, and we would find a solution to do something for the animals. But as far as them overpopulating, they're only at their numbers that they're at because we AI them, we artificially inseminate them. And we do that because that's more successful than natural mating. So they're only at the numbers that they're at because of us. And many of them can't even mate now. Turkeys can't mate. Wild turkeys can't, but turkeys that we use, they can't even stand really. They can hardly mount each other. So the animals wouldn't overpopulate. We would still take care of them. We wouldn't just release them to the wild. And we would manage that they wouldn't continue to procreate.
Here's what I got so far from this whole vegan thing. To go the vegan path would mean, not eating cheese or meat or.
Do you know what happens in order to get dairy?
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. Yes.
So what has to happen?
For what I've learned, after seeing that video on YouTube, um,
Well,
I'm
so
not
start
even
off.
sure I'm
She's a
allowed to.
mammal. What
I'm
does
not even
that
sure
mean?
if I'm allowed to say it on here.
Okay,
But
I'll break it down for you. So she's a female mammal. She's a female mammal. When do female mammals produce milk?
okay,
When do they? So I'm asking you. They produce milk after they have a baby. All female mammals lactate after giving birth to a baby. So how does she get pregnant? You think she decides when she's getting pregnant, or do you think the farmer chooses?
they put. For what I've learned, they inject you with something to
So is it
push
the
the
farmer or the
pregnancy.
cow that decides that she's going to be pregnant?
What?
Is it the farmer or the cow that decides the cow is going to be pregnant?
The farmer.
Right. The farmer decides when she's going to be pregnant. Do you know what artificial insemination is?
I was familiar with it when one of the
So
vegans.
a farmer puts a glove all the way up his arm, up to his shoulder. He inserts his arm into her anus,
Gross.
all the way in there. He holds her through the lining of her colon, holds her cervix in place, his arm is in her butt, and he's reaching through the skin to get through to her cervix to hold it in place. And then in her vagina, they squirt bull semen that they literally JO off a bull. It's someone's job to put buzzies in the bum of a bull until he goes. And sometimes they do it by hand. There's actually an episode of Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. I don't know if you ever watched that show on TV.
Wait, so
He,
all that trouble just to get milk and cheese and stuff.
yeah, that's not even the end of it. So once they get the bull semen, they squirt that into her and they massage it into her. They massage it. So what we're talking about right now is bestiality, and we have legal carve-outs for farmers for this very reason.
Can I be honest with
So,
you?
hold off. Let me finish the thing. So 9 months later, she has a 9 month pregnancy, just like a human. 9 months later, she gives birth. Cows are very maternal. We have to take her baby away from her within 24 hours. Any longer is considered inhumane because they build a stronger bond. But the bond is, ripping them apart even right then is still hard on them. Often the mother cows chase after the farmers stealing their babies. but we can't have the babies drinking the milk because that's our milk. So that's the process. And she goes through that for maybe 6 years. Dairy cows can live to be about 20, if not older. And they're often killed at age 6, if not younger. And the males, if she has a boy, they're usually unalived immediately, or they're maybe raised for 2 years to become veal. And the females are kept in like little dog houses until they reach sexual maturity. And then they go through the same process their mother went through.
Gross.
Yeah, that's dairy. You had a question?
No, I just wanted to confess something to you. The
Okay.
truth is, I really love cheese. Like I love cheesy pastas. I'm just a huge.
I mean, there's vegan cheeses, and there's vegan ways to, like, you can make really flavorful cheese flavors out of like nuts. Is it really worth it, that flavor? Is it worth it putting a cow through all of that? Like, what if it was a dog? Do you think that would be right?
Wait, why would they use a dog?
You know, any animal. They're all about, like, they call cows grass puppies because they're about as intelligent, if not more intelligent, than dogs. They like to play with balls. Like, they'll play fetch with you. They don't necessarily grab it with their mouth, but they chase after the balls and they'll kick it back at you. They make friends. They actually have seen cows in sanctuaries now where some dairy cows have been rescued and they're still pregnant. And once they give birth, they do like it takes a village method. So each cow takes a turn taking care of the baby. So the mom isn't the only one. They're pretty amazing.
Great. Now I feel really bad about all those.
Well, so there's something you can do. What do you think you can do?
I got nothing.
Why do they make it?
I mean, they why they make it and why they try to improve it is to because
Sell it.
because people love it
To sell it.
to sell it.
It doesn't matter if people love it, right? We have a lot of things that people would love. How come, like heroin, for example, right? Like it harms people. So that's why they don't allow people to just do it.
Yeah, that brings me to my next question. I mean, since heroin is illegal, what's really is the purpose of heroin then?
I mean, it's because people are trying to escape reality, whereas using animals, I mean, you could argue that using animals is also an escape. Like we're using the entertainment of eating animals to escape responsibility of caring for them. Like we're breeding them into existence, saying that because they rely on us, that it's okay for us to use them like this. And I don't know, I guess I lost my point.
I mean, like,
What was your question again? Oh, what's the point of heroin? There is no point. It's to me, it just sounds like an escape and something to numb you.
so there is no
But
good purpose for it, just like there's no purpose for crack or since it's made or whatever.
right, but what we're talking about is using animals, and you don't need to use them. There's a victim involved. If using heroin involved a victim, it would be wrong, right? There's nothing really immoral with someone using. I probably shouldn't say that word anymore. Schmeroin. It's TikTok, so they can take down my live.
Yeah,
But
so I mean, it's really tricky what to say, what not to say here.
yeah, no, I know. I honestly don't know, and you can't. I don't think there's even a list you can find, but you can usually figure out words that are usually more triggering, and then especially because I've done lives a lot, I get warnings on things I say, so I've run into a few walls. They don't normally take you down immediately, but if you keep using a word that they don't like, they can take you down. So anyway, Micah, why aren't you vegan?
You say, why aren't I vegan?
Yeah. What's stopping you from leaving this conversation and being vegan?
I mean, yeah. Okay, here's the thing. I mean, in life, I feel like we just go off on what we know and what we're familiar with.
Oh, sure. But what's
What's
stopping you from making a change for the good? So if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, like maybe you're starting to understand the logic, but you feel overwhelmed with the change that might have to follow that, I would go watch Dominion. Because to me, you need to have that motivation first. You need to know what it is those labels actually mean. When we go to a store and you see labels that say humanely raised or free range, cage free, grass fed, whatever, we have a narrative that we put into our own minds on what those labels mean. What you should do is go watch what those labels actually mean. That's what helped me kind of remove the blinders, is that I would never advocate for animals to be treated like this. And then you realize there's no right way to exploit someone. There's no right way to use someone without their consent for your benefit. And even though someone may not be aware that you're exploiting them, you are a moral agent and you are being immoral by exploiting them, right? It doesn't matter if they're aware of it or not. You're still committing an immoral act, which is against your own principles, I'm sure. I'm sure you believe that your subjective experience should absolutely be respected by other humans, or at least moral agents, right? No questions asked. They should just respect your autonomy or your body, right?
I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that morality is subjective. They don't have a right to touch you or to make you do things that you don't want to do without your consent, right?
Indeed.
And the only reason is because you're experiencing life. It has nothing to do with how smart you are, has nothing to do with what you contribute to society or who loves you if you have family. It's that you are having an experience. You have the capacity to suffer, and that should be respected. Let's say you get bonked on the head. You are no longer the same Micah that you are today. You are still sentient, but no longer sapient, let's say. You can't make moral decisions anymore, but you can still enjoy life and, make preferences. Would it be okay for me to exploit you then?
I mean, it's
I would
never
hope.
okay to be exploited.
Right, exactly. I agree with you. It's never going to be all right to exploit you. At least not without your consent, which doesn't really make sense because exploiting means to use unfairly. But my point is, your consent, your autonomy, those are what's important. Animals are the same way. Just because they don't think like us, because they're shaped slightly different, doesn't mean that they don't have that same preference to continue living and making preferences. That their capacity to suffer should be respected by not exploiting them, just like you want your capacity to suffer to be respected.
Okay. Well, I won't keep you. I'm gonna go check out that video.
Awesome. Yeah, take a screenshot. All of these references are really great too. Challenge 22, like I said, the dietitians makes it really easy. They're with you for 22 days, and it's only through email, so it's not like super invasive, but really helpful, totally free. Nutritionfacts.org has studies if you want to read them. ChatGPT is great for just asking general questions, but it makes mistakes, so be sure to kind of double check things. And what I love ChatGPT for is if you want to ask it to make a meal for you or meal plans, you can double check them in Cronometer. Cronometer tells you the micro and macronutrients of your food for free. All those are free.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, and if you watch Dominion or even Dairy Scary, because that's only 10 minutes, I would love to talk to you afterwards. Like if I'm live or if you just private message me, I'd love to hear if your thoughts changed at all. Or if you need help, or if you have questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, you know what, Micah? I really want to tell you thank you for being open-minded. Thank you.
I'm sure.
Okay. And ask yourself, how many more animals do you want exploited for you? If it's 0, you have to go vegan. Hey, Lori, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? You had some
Well,
people. Good. That was a good
yeah,
one.
that was a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He seemed fairly interested, and that's good. That he took
yeah,
a
I really
screenshot.
appreciate it.
I heard his camera go out, so he did take a
Yeah.
screenshot.
Yes, I'm very
cool.
happy when people are open to the
Yeah.
resources. That definitely makes a big
Yeah.
difference for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure it does. Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yes.
But I understand it's hard to make a change on the spot. When I was going vegan, it was because I was reading a book and it was like, yep, you got to go vegan. I was like, God damn it. And I just did it right there. I was like, all right, fine.
All right. There you go. That's the way everybody should do it. Just do it right then.
Just do it. Just do it. When you realize what you're doing, you're like, there's no point in continuing, right? Like, I don't want to do that to somebody else.
Right. Exactly. I agree. You're explaining background. Okay, go ahead. I was just
what were you saying?
They're saying that you're exploiting the chicken in the background.
Oh, it's not a real chicken. It's an AI chicken.
Yeah, it's not a real chicken. Let's not cut half of their head and a woman's head. And
oh yeah. Both of them.
Yeah.
I did the crossover between a human and a chicken because most chickens are women. Because we blend up the boys. I had a previous background where I had a chick and a little boy because we grind them up on their first day of life.
Right.
So I thought this would be like the mother chickens. These are the egg-laying chickens.
Right.
They're more red, usually, I guess.
Yeah, they're most of them are red. Yeah. I forget what they.
I did see there's other ones, but these are the more commonly used for eggs, at least industrially.
Yeah. The red ones.
So yeah. I thought I'd combine with a woman because, you can look in her eyes and see that she's human. They're both sentient.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They are. You got 3 people, girl.
Let's pull them up. Let's get someone up.
Hopefully they'll be just as courteous.
I hope so.
And open-minded.
Let's hope so. All right, let's bring up Jacob. Oh, was it too long ago for a request? Oh no, Jacob. I'm sorry. It looks like it's not loading. Maybe if you're still there, maybe leave and come back. All right, Lewis. I feel like we've spoken before. Oh, damn. Did I take too long last time? These people might have been waiting the whole time. Damn. Okay. Lewis. Maybe step down and come back. The Dawn. Hey, are you over 18?
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I like women.
You don't want to deal with that, thank you.
What a prick.
Yeah.
Waiting all that time just to say something stupid.
Exactly. What? Why? Mr.
Hello?
Crisp. Hi. Are you over 18?
I'm over 18, yes.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I eat meat because the cows hit the Pentagon.
Okay.
It all went, yeah.
And we lost all the good ones.
I had hope, but
I know.
All the weirdos are out right now.
Yeah. Oh, I tried to mute this guy. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, go away, the Dawn. Nobody wants to hear your stupidness.
Yeah, I thought I saw him up here one other time.
I have just muted him, so I was gonna say his message is gone now, but
yeah.
he was just he was being heterosexist again, so I kicked him.
Totally.
This is what I was expecting. Someone was upset about me using ChatGPT and the environment. I just want you guys to know that if you still use animals, you're using way more resources than I am with ChatGPT. Way more, way more. A third of our water, 83% of our agricultural land, all that. Well, I already said water. And then we're actually clearing out the oceans to feed farm fish. Like, we're not even eating all the fish that we are pulling out of the water. We're feeding them to farmed fish.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah. Well, I don't have anyone in the queue. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess kicking the trolls made my algorithm drop.
Does it drop that far?
I don't know. It's down to 20. Usually I have at least 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm down to 3 eggs a week. I mean, if you guys want to share, I just feel silly asking you guys to do stuff like that, like to tap. And I mean, I do it too. I say to tap the screen and to share the live. It just feels, I don't know. I'm not an influencer. I hate doing it. I just want to talk to people about veganism. Like, stop hurting animals. That's all I want to talk about.
Right.
I'm so bad at the internet thing. Yeah. I know. I appreciate it, Mark. Maybe you go, are you vegan? I don't think you are. I think you were saying something. You're down to 3 eggs a week. I'm pretty sure, isn't Just Egg cheaper now? In fact, there are recipes now online. You can make like a scrambled egg out of mung beans. Mung beans are cheap.
Yeah. I don't really like eggs enough to do that, but I don't.
I mean,
to me, yeah.
I liked the Just Egg for a while, but yeah, I don't know. Every time now that I have like eggy stuff like with black salt on it, it's just I can't. It tastes gross to me. It tastes, I don't know, like gamey. I don't know. It makes my mouth go bleh.
Yeah. So it's like, why?
But there was a time when I did love. Like my mom used to break crackers in eggs, and so I was excited when Just Egg came out because I was like, oh, the nostalgia. I did tofu scramble, but it's slightly different. And so I was excited to have that nostalgia of the egg with cracker. Ugh. Just, your taste palette definitely changes. You're like, oh no, I know what this is mimicking, and it's like, ugh, I don't know.
Yeah, no. It is gross. So it's like, if you're down to 3 eggs a week, why even bother?
Just put them in your garden. I hear they're really great for the garden.
Yeah.
Or if you know some chickens, give them to the chickens.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can use mung beans to make a wrap. That's actually probably the best thing to do with them.
Yeah.
To make like the batter and then really thin and then make it like a tortilla.
Yeah.
That sounds good because you can season that thing with anything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Mark, were you not? Go ahead.
No.
I was just responding. He's saying something about cheese addiction. I feel like we've talked to Mark before.
Yeah. It's like, really? You're gonna call that an addiction? It's like, come on.
Yeah. I used to think that you could be addicted to dairy, but it sounds like the casomorphine is not as addictive as we think it is. It's addictive to babies and baby cows because it's supposed to draw them back, but it's not enough to be like a drug addiction. So when people say that, although people sometimes just have their own mental hooks, and it's not necessarily that the thing they're consuming is the addicted or the thing that causes addiction. It's just they have an addictive personality.
Right.
When people say they're addicted to dairy, it's like, yes, I understand that you're hooked on the flavor, but recognizing the atrocity should make you take a second.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I don't understand that. It's such an easy mental process to just do it, and maybe just do it and not think about it. Maybe it's better just to dive headfirst into it, and take all the resources you have and give everything a try.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, Mark, go watch Dairy is Scary. That'll break it down really clear. Gosh, I cannot talk today. I feel like I'm just saying words all weird. Yes, I know casein is a real thing. Casomorphine is a real thing, but it's not as addictive as we think it is just because it's a type of morphine. It is something that we're drawn to because it's made for a baby to come back to their mother.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, the casomorphine. It's just, I'm pretty sure that humans produce some level of it as well. I don't remember
Yeah.
for sure, so everyone go look that up. But I'm pretty sure that human mothers also produce something similar that makes you bond with your baby more.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Vegan NPC. That's perfectly put. People who have like food addictions should seek therapy. And you know what? I bet you
Yeah.
Challenge 22, they might be able to even send you somewhere, like at least give you suggestions on where to go. Because dietitians, I imagine, would have some idea of how to deal with food addictions of some sort, or at least tell you where to go, like I said.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because in the whole process of it, what they do,
Yeah.
and much smarter than doctors.
Yeah. Just because, you know, they spent their focus was on how nutrition affects your health.
Health, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, most doctors don't even realize it, you know, and you'd think that they would go vegan, but you know, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It blows my mind that doctors and scientists that conduct those studies that we always quote, some of them don't go vegan.
No,
And that
right?
blows my mind. I'm like, wow, you're an educated individual who just looked even closer.
Yeah, yeah,
Still like, nah, it's not for me.
yeah.
Yeah. But we do also have a lot of people that have looked close and changed their habits too. So
Yeah. Yeah, she does get vegan trolls on here, Mark.
oh yes. Oh yes I do. Lots of trolls. Lots of trolls.
Mhm.
Unnecessary too, because we're talking about, you know, someone's rights being respected. What's the point
Right.
in trolling people that are fighting for someone's rights? I just don't understand.
I don't
Unless you
either.
want to keep benefiting from exploiting someone, in which case that's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Shoot, guys, we're down to 16. It's only been 43 minutes. Okay. I think I'm going to restart. Are you
Okay.
willing to come back, Lori?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just going to restart. I'll see you, and like, I'm going to maybe run to the restroom real quick, and then I'll be
Okay.
back up.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Good.
I'll see you guys in a few. Okay. Oh, I thought I accept you. Sorry. Did it not accept you? Oh, okay. Never mind. You're loading in.
No. It's
There was
okay.
a delay, and I was like, "What's that? Why aren't you coming up? Why isn't it coming up?"
I know, just a little bit. Wow.
Alright.
Well, hopefully it helped dropping down and then coming back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like doing it because it's such a pain.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see.
I don't really know how
Uh,
this works. I don't.
I see other TikTokers sometimes they'll do the fake goodbye where they're like, "All right, guys, I gotta go," and
Yeah.
then they just sit there even longer. And I'm wondering, is that how they like refresh it? They're like tricking
Possibly.
people to leaving, and then other people come in. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe I'll try that next time. But I don't know. I'm so awkward. I just can't do a vegan hangout.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I like hanging out with you, Lori, but honestly, I get so awkward when I'm just talking to vegans. I'm like, I don't really want to preach at the choir.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
You have really good ideas and know a lot. So you
Yeah, I
gotta
think
put
we're
it
a
down.
great team. I think we're a great team. I think
Yeah.
that I get a little spicy sometimes, and it's nice to have someone a little more down to earth for sure.
Thanks. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you definitely do. You every time you come in, it's usually it's like a perfect time to swoop in and be like, all right, let's have a calming moment. And often I'm like, oh yeah, I do need to take a moment just to breathe.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad about that.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you being up here. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Monroe, you don't need dairy if you're vegetarian. I mean, just go the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. So
Why
looks like
do you
got a couple
need
people now?
Awesome. Why would you need breast milk from another mother? It doesn't make sense. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Kita, please come up.
Need my age?
Oh yes, I just heard age. Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Perfect. Why aren't you vegan yet?
One of the big factors. I just like meat. But I
Alright, so
did
it's just about.
see, yeah, I did see
ahead.
that your like description said welcome to another vegan live. You said we are discussing the morality of exploiting sentient animals for pleasure. So you think
Right.
that humans and animals should be on the same level?
No, I think that when it comes to using someone, we matter morally the same. But I would say that even within the human species alone, we're all different, right? No two humans are the exact same.
So we matter morally the same, humans and animals?
Yeah, as far as like excuse me, as far as exploitation goes, yes.
So I wouldn't agree with that, but okay, so
Can you tell me what exploitation means?
so you're using them for, or basically, I know what exploitation means. Like you're using them, by
For your
in this
benefit.
case, yes, by your benefit to. In this case, it would be animals. The unaliving to eat and your pleasure and things like that. That's how
So
you.
the definition is to use someone unfairly for your benefit.
Okay, so I don't think that's unfair because we're also part of the food chain.
Okay,
And
so I have a
typically,
dog right next to me, and I get entertainment and exercise out of kicking them. Do you find that moral?
so there's no use to doing that besides just being mean. So no.
No, I get exercise out of it and entertainment.
Okay, no. So I find that disingenuous, right? Because I said that we're on the food chain, not that we can just go around and you can
So
have
can I do whatever
for
I want
example,
to
you can
animals?
own
Can I do whatever I want to animals?
not anything you want. No, there's a
Okay,
humane
so I'm
community.
kicking a dog here. Why is that immoral?
It's immoral because you are mistreating the animal. I would say you're torturing the
How am I
animal,
mistreating them?
or
What is so
you're
terrible?
kicking them,
Are
right?
they
So,
experiencing something that we don't want that would be immoral to make them experience?
probably.
They're suffering, right?
The
They have the capacity to suffer,
right,
right?
but the difference is that we're on the
Is
food
it
chain.
moral for me to cause them unnecessary suffering?
In that case, no. Kicking, no.
Right. Because I can kick something else, right?
Right, but you do realize that a healthy diet for a human is typically, not saying that you can't be vegan and be healthy, but a healthy diet typically would be an omnivore diet.
So, Kita, do you think if I gave you evidence that you can thrive on a plant-based diet, that it would be a moral obligation to live vegan?
No, because there are certain amino acids and things that you're just
You
not
didn't hear
going to
what I
get
just
from.
said. Can you repeat my question to me? What did I ask you?
You said if you could prove it, would you change your position? And
If I could
I've
prove
been
what?
asked,
If I could prove what?
I think I heard you, right? So I'm
What
going
did
to
I
answer you
say?
now.
What did I
So
say?
there's certain
What
things
did
that
I
you
say?
can't get from animals.
Kita, you have a good
Certain things
day.
that
You
you can't
clearly
get.
don't want to have a conversation. So what I said was that you can get everything that you need from a plant-based diet. I didn't say that, but that's what my point is. You can get everything you need from a plant-based diet. And what I pointed to is challenge 22. You don't need to argue with me about nutrition. You don't know everything. You're not a dietitian. You're not a nutritionist. Dietitians have 2,000 to 8,000 hours of education focused on how nutrition affects the health. Guess what? These are plant-based dietitians. They're going to help you be vegan. They're going to help you find what's in your area with your preference in your budget for free. And they'll help you meal plan for 22 days. You can get all of your amino acids from plants. Get all your proteins, which is the same thing, from plants. You can get all your vitamins from plants. You don't need to use animals. And you're so focused on using animals, you didn't hear my question, which was, if I had the evidence to prove to you that you can get everything you need on a plant-based diet, would you then find it to be a moral obligation to not take the lives of animals anymore? And you said no. So why should I stop kicking a dog when you won't stop removing animals' heads so you can lick their muscle?
Yeah, exactly. Can't be
People
easier. It can't be easier than to go and check this stuff out, you know?
I know, right?
Right.
Like, it cracks me up when they're just up here to argue,
Yeah.
and I literally answer their point, and they just absolutely ignore it and keep going on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I asked her, what if I had the evidence to show you could get everything from a plant-based diet? And she says, you can't. No, I want you to go with my scenario, even though you don't believe it. What if?
Right.
Would you then find it to be a moral obligation? She found kicking a dog to be abusive. How come
Right.
escalating the violence to removing someone's head is not worse?
Right. I would think so.
Yeah, I don't want my
would
head
think it's a
removed.
lot
I would
worse
much
than
rather be
kicking a
kicked.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we would never kick dogs, but we're using it as a euphemism, you know?
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to use that as an example. Like, we all recognize that kicking dogs or any animal, right, for fun
Right.
is immoral. Most people agree
Right.
kicking or harming an animal for fun is immoral. But then they forget that when they're consuming animals, they don't need to consume animals. They're literally consuming them for entertainment,
Yeah. Exactly.
taste bud entertainment.
Well, you got two people, women. Maybe they might have a better conversation.
I think TikToker was waiting the longest. I'll bring them up first.
Yo,
Hey, hi. Are you over 18?
21.
Perfect. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Oh, I was going to ask a question. Would you guys eat like farmed mussels? I know they're animals, but they're not sentient.
Well, I'll answer your question, but first answer mine.
Well, I'm not vegan. I don't know.
Is it just
Not-
because you've never really thought about it before?
Not as cheap.
You're not a sheep, but yet
It's not
You're-
cheap.
you consume animal.
Cheap.
Oh, it's not cheap. Okay. I was like, are you calling me a sheep?
No,
It is
cheap.
It is cheaper.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, there's a study done by Oxford that found that in wealthier nations, it's 30% cheaper, in fact. Yeah.
I mean,
So
I
about
add
taste. So
mushrooms
it's
to my
basically
meals.
just taste pleasure. It sounds like, right?
I guess.
I mean, what's stopping you from no longer purchasing animal products anymore?
No.
I mean, did you want to talk about it, or are you just up here to be like, I don't know?
Like the
Okay.
mussels thing, they're not sentient. So would it be on the same level as eating a plant?
How do you know they're not sentient?
There's studies that prove it.
Can you name one?
I can't name one, but they're also, I know they're net positive for the environment if they're farmed.
I mean, we can just let them thrive in the environment on their own. We don't need to use them.
I mean, we don't, but it's a net
Right.
positive. It, like,
Yeah, they can just, if they just exist already in the ocean, they can just spread on their own. We don't need to add more individuals to nature.
yeah, but they're filter
They can just-
feeders, and when we add
Yeah, that's
more,
fine.
it cleans the ocean.
You know what? That's great, but we'll let natural ecosystems rebuild. Right now, we're destroying those ecosystems using animals.
Yeah, but if we can help it using animals, why wouldn't we?
Because they're sentient beings. Like, why wouldn't we use slavery?
The mussels aren't sentient.
You don't know that, though. You're just assuming. You can't even
Well,
name
do
one
we know
study that
plants aren't
apparently you
sentient?
hold this to truth. I'm sorry?
Do we know plants aren't sentient?
We do. Look up, the study is called Debunking a Myth, Plant Consciousness. goes over the last 50 years of studies. It's actually an analysis. Goes over the last 50 years of studies that looked at plant sentience. Every study that has ever claimed that there might be some sentience in the plant has not been repeated successfully. All the studies that explain their actions as mechanisms have been repeated successfully. So we're finding that plants are not sentient, at least not like animals and humans. Animals have what are called nociceptors. Those are the nerve endings in skin that tell them that they're experiencing excruciating pain. Guess what? We have the same nerve endings. So we know the animals we use, when you see a knife dragged across their throat, it would feel the same to us as it does to them.
Yeah, but like mussels and jellyfish and like shellfish like that.
Why are you going on about this? Why do you want to harm cows, pigs, and chickens? Why do you want to take their heads off and lick their muscles? Why do you think that's moral?
I'm talking about mussels, like the clam.
I know, but why? Are you vegan? Do you eat any other animal?
I mostly eat fish.
So you only eat fish and mussels.
Yeah.
Why don't you eat other animals?
Well, I like fish and mussels more.
So it's just about taste pleasure. You don't care about their suffering.
Yeah, but like, they don't feel pain.
So fish absolutely feel pain. There's a study done called the tigerfish study. I think it's a tigerfish. Zebrafish study. They put fish into 2 different tanks. One was barren, one had a bunch of recreational toys. All the fish went and played in the recreational area. The second time they go in there, some of the fish were given a serum that made them feel pain. In the barren tank was a pain reliever, but it wasn't in the tank that had all the recreational stuff. The fish are released into the 2 tanks. The ones that are not feeling the pain all go to the recreational area. The ones that are feeling pain hang out in the barren tank to relieve their pain. Fish feel pain.
Okay.
So what makes it okay for you to cause them to feel that suffering?
And then I'll just eat mussels.
Let's put it this way. Why should I respect your autonomy? Why should I respect your body?
I don't know.
I don't want to have a conversation with you.
Okay.
You're rude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you think about mussels. They have ganglia. I honestly err on the side of caution. They are in a gray zone. I don't use them because I don't need to.
Right.
If I was in a survival situation and there weren't any fauna or plants that I knew I could eat, I would probably opt to choose to eat those because that would be the lowest form of harm that I could cause. But I'm not in that situation. Most of us are not in that situation. Most of us have a grocery store or a farmer's market. You know, we have options. I just get tired of people that are like, I don't know. Okay. Like, are you actually here to have a conversation or are you turning into a child? Andy, are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I'm not vegan because it's too expensive.
It's not. It's actually cheaper. A whole food plant-based diet is one of the cheapest diets and one of the healthiest diets.
It's very hard to, able
Do you know
to
what veganism is? What's
diet.
veganism? What is veganism? What is veganism?
Can I ask you a question?
No. Answer my question. What is veganism?
Veganism is a belief and a stance in the standing against the cruelty to animals.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close. We're against the exploitation of sentient beings.
Yeah.
Okay, so why would I be against the exploitation of sentient beings?
Why would you be against the exploitation of sentient beings?
Yeah.
That's just your choice. End of the day.
Do you think that you should be exploited?
Not really.
Do you think that's right? Do you think it's right for you to be exploited, for someone to use you for their benefit unfairly?
I think, to be honest, I think animals don't serve a purpose like what humans do.
Can you answer my question? Why should I respect your autonomy?
You don't need to.
Yeah, but why should I? You obviously have a preference to have your autonomy respected. If I came at you with a sharp object, are you going to protect yourself?
Of course.
Are you going to try to stop me?
Of course.
Okay, so why is it wrong that I'm trying to harm you? Why are you trying to stop me?
Well, there's actually a law for that.
Let's say we're in a place that doesn't have a law. Why is it immoral for me to do that?
Well, it's just it isn't right. It's not morally
Yeah,
right.
can you tell me why? Can you tell me why?
Because killing another human, not because it's illegal. It is illegal. However, it's just not morally correct.
Why is it? Yeah, you keep repeating. It's called begging the question. You're not answering it. You're just repeating yourself.
Right, okay, well, what do you want me to answer? And I'll answer it.
So I'll answer it for you. The reason why it's immoral to harm other humans when it's unjustified is because they're having a subjective experience just like you. The whole reason you're protecting yourself is because you have a personal interest in continuing to live, in having experiences and weighing those out.
Yep.
You demand that be respected by other people, right? Not that they should know that you should tell them that your preference is to be left alone. They should just know, right?
Why do we have canine teeth if we're not supposed to eat animals?
They should just know to respect you, correct, Andy?
Yeah.
Right. So if you want your autonomy, you want your capacity to experience life and your ability to suffer to be respected by not being exploited or used without your consent, you then have a moral obligation to reflect that same respect to all beings with a similar capacity. Animals have a very similar capacity to suffer, and they're having their own subjective experience of the world. They're weighing out their experiences and making preferences. So what makes it okay for you to demand a knife be shoved in them so that you can lick their insides?
Well, I'm going to ask you one simple question that will actually end this waffle, and it's, can you make a cow president?
All right, Andy, I know you just pooped your brain. Go take some time to recover. Like, logic hit him and he didn't know what to do. Just crapped his brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one dude I was gonna tell you is Leaky. He was up next. Leaky.
Oh yeah, please. Leaky, come on up.
Hello.
Hi, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Different reasons, but I'm just gonna go over the simplest one.
Okay.
One, because it's not gonna really make a difference, and two, I just don't feel that it. For example, animals can harm other animals, but we can't eat them. Like they can eat each other, but we can't eat them.
So your two reasons were I won't make a difference. Make a diff. And the other one was animals do it, right?
Yep.
So my first answer is to make a difference, you absolutely do make a difference. The people that make the products that you purchase, they're watching what you do. They pay attention to what you purchase. And if you take your demand, if you know what supply and demand is, you're taking your demand away from one product and putting it towards others, they're going to notice that difference. Someone that is omnivore that goes vegan is going to save 100 to 300 animals a year. Imagine looking behind you and there's 100 animals just looking at you. That's a lot of individuals. Right?
Yeah, that's true, but
So I want you to imagine you're standing in a crowd of humans, right? You and a bunch of humans. Someone standing on the outside of that group will see just a bunch of humans. They won't see individuals. They'll just see a clump of humans. But you're in that group. You're still having your own subjective experience. You still have your own preferences, right? You're still an individual. Those 100 animals standing behind you, each one would have their own subjective experience that now doesn't have to be put through that system. So you have more power than you give yourself credit for. You can unmute yourself. I didn't mute you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice.
I didn't.
Yeah, what
Oh, okay.
what happens to, like, if I don't buy like a chicken? What happens to that? Somebody else is just gonna buy it.
No, actually, what'll happen is the people that make chickens won't breed as many chickens into existence. If you increase the demand, then they increase how many chickens they grow.
But the
That's
scale
how
is so
supply and
large.
demand
Like,
works.
but is
Yeah,
one
but I
person
just
out
told
of
you,
like
you can
6 million?
save 100 to 300 animals. That's a lot. Saving just one individual means everything to that one individual.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just a big, it's a really big scale of slaughtering that
I mean,
happens.
you're kind of you're overwhelming yourself. It's really not that big. It's really not that big. Yes, it's a big issue that you won't be able to solve on your own, but veganism is a principled stance. It's me saying I don't want to support that. I don't want to support someone else's exploitation. And I have the power to avoid demanding that. And I will seek every way that I can avoid that. Because I don't want to do that. If I were in that situation, if I was the one being oppressed, that's how I would want my oppressors to act. To avoid harming me or using me as much as absolutely possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely see where you're getting at. I completely understand. Yeah, it's just 2 points of views, you know.
Well, what if you were in the cage? How quickly would you want your oppressors to stop?
Pretty quickly, but then I would know that I'm, you know, about
So
to
you're
die.
the
I don't think
oppressor.
chickens really.
Doesn't matter if they know or not. Like, do you know what moral agents and moral patients are?
Yeah, another vegan told me. I kind of forgot. You could tell me again, please.
Moral agents weigh out what's right and wrong. They understand morality. Moral
Oh
patients
yeah.
might have some idea of morality, but they don't fully understand it. Animals and children are moral patients. They don't fully understand morality, and yeah, they might have some understanding, but they don't fully understand it. And just because they're vulnerable to the moral agents doesn't mean that the moral agents have the right to exploit them. If anything, moral agents, someone who has more understanding and can weigh out what's right and wrong, should have the responsibility to not exploit those that are vulnerable because they know what they're doing is wrong.
Well, that brings the other question: and how is it okay for other animals to kill each
Because
other?
they're moral patients. We don't hold children to the same standard as we do adults because they don't understand things like we do. Animals are much the same. Most of them, if you're talking about like predators out in the wild, they're just surviving their harsh environment the only way they know how to. And to hold that against them is crazy, right? Like, we've seen those animals when they're taken out of fight or flight mode and put in areas where they're given everything they need. They do show signs of morality and, you know, compassion. But when you're out in the wild just surviving, they're just using whatever they can to keep living. So we can't use them as moral guides. We're not in the same situation. You have a grocery store. Go ahead.
But the you know, meat here where I live is different in America, I bet. But meat is just, for pound to pound and protein to protein ratio, is just a lot cheaper.
That's not true. That's not true.
It is true.
Where do you live?
I went to the grocery store at Denmark, so I guess you could understand why it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, Denmark, absolutely, you can be vegan. Absolutely. Richer nations it's 30% cheaper.
But then how is...
You just don't know what you're looking for. You don't even know what you're looking for. You don't even know what veganism is, right? Like, how would you know what's available to you if you've never looked for it?
I do, because I do eat vegetables.
Yeah, but you're not looking for vegan. You're not looking for vegan food, and you don't even know how to eat, right? How many grams of protein do you need in a day? What are you getting?
You know, the same 1 gram per kilo. So if I weigh 70 kilos, I need at least 70 grams of protein.
All right, how much are you getting right now?
I don't really know. I just buy a lot of, you know, food.
Exactly. So you're not even paying attention right now. And I'm telling you, I can show you how to eat healthy within your area for cheap. And the thing is, the driving thing shouldn't be your health. The driving thing should be you don't want to cause animals harm anymore. I'm not a nutritionist or a dietitian. I don't care about your health. If you want to be healthy, good. I want you to be healthy, but I'm not here advocating for you to be healthy. I'm telling you, you can live your current lifestyle or whatever lifestyle you want, but just stop using animals. They're sentient. You don't need to use them. You using animals is similar to me just kicking a dog for exercise and entertainment.
No, because that dog feels it. Most animals,
So
when
do
they die,
you
they
think
don't
it's
really
worse
feel
to
the
be
pain.
kicked? Do you think it's worse to be kicked or have your head removed?
Well, if the dog gets kicked for no reason and it does that every single time you want to exercise,
What is worse for the
rest of its
animal?
life,
What is worse for the animal, being kicked or having their head removed?
rather have my head removed than be kicked every single day.
Okay.
But you said when you exercise.
You got 3 more.
Let's pull them up. I really don't like dishonest people. Most people agree getting kicked is lesser than having your head removed.
Cut off, yeah. Come on, dude.
Yeah, get out of here. That's crazy. Okay, Bailey, come on up.
Bailey, yeah, she was next.
If you want, you can pull them up because I don't know who's been in there, and I feel bad when I do pull them up out of order. If you know which one's next, yeah, just throw them up at me. Yeah, rapid fire.
Got it.
Hello.
Oh goodness, you sound like a child. Goodbye.
I love me.
And a man-child at that.
Man-child.
Boy-child, not even a Bailey.
Yeah, that's wow.
Why aren't these kids in school?
I don't know. Yeah, what are you guys doing? It's like 10 in the morning for me, so the kids over here are in school.
I don't get that.
You want to throw someone at me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see him. I'm sorry. Hey, big boy, are you over 18?
Hey, yeah, I'm 33. How's it going?
Okay, cool. It's going well. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I just, like eating meat.
Okay, so it's just about taste pleasure?
No, I mean, I guess it would have to do with just preference of culture and homesteading. So like,
okay. So I'm an American. I'm an American, and it was once our culture to enslave other human beings. Does that make enslavement of other human beings moral?
Yeah, that's right off the bat. We're getting a false equivalency. I didn't say it's because it's culture. It's
okay. Oh no, I
didn't
compare. All I said was it's my culture. You said it's my culture, so I'm just using the same logic.
Right. I think you need a justification for it, but that's where we differ. I don't need a justification for it.
Why?
I'm not saying culture is like culture makes it.
What is it? What is it about animals that makes it okay to enslave and grape them?
Well, I don't do
for
all
our
that.
benefit.
I don't do all that. I just.
Do you eat cheese?
Sure.
You pay for it.
Do you drink milk?
Yeah, the milk from my goats and the cheese that we make.
Do you know? Okay, so what does a cow or even a goat? What do they have to go through in order to produce milk?
Well, whenever they have kids.
Who decides when they have kids?
My bucks, the male goats.
You decide. You pick the boys that go into their group, and you decide when they're going to have babies. Otherwise, you'd have too many babies, right?
No, they kind of do their thing, and if we want to keep them, we do, and if not, we find
Oh,
them.
so you sell them off because you can't have the babies drinking the milk. You're the baby
No, I'm just the human that runs the show.
that sucks out of the teat of a little goat.
No.
What is the milk for?
All the vegans have to make it all weird.
Is the milk for? I'm done talking to you. Is the milk for adult humans? I just don't think so. I think it's meant for their babies that you're selling off that are being butchered. I don't like people that, I mean, I probably shouldn't have kicked him. I just didn't want to deal with him. He's talking about his goats, and he's going to tell me that he knows everything that goes into animal ag. when and he's going to deny that he's SAing those goats. You're literally forcing a randy male to do whatever he wants when he wants with these females, and you're doing it on purpose to use whatever comes out after them. If not, just use the babies.
Yeah.
If that were humans, would that sound humane? Sound like schmotschwitz, if you ask me.
The next Bohan is the next person that's set next for you.
Yeah, throw them at me.
Oh, okay.
If you can, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna try to not look at him because I'm gonna trust your eye to know who's next.
Yeah.
Johan? Or how should I pronounce your name?
Hello.
How should I pronounce your name?
Hello. I'm 60 years old. For me, it's
yes,
more
but
important.
how should I pronounce your name? I've asked you 3 times now. Is it Johan?
The Swedish form of Jon.
Okay, he finally did respond. I'm sorry. You can come back up. I feel like we spoke last time, and I don't really want to rehash it, but thank you. But if he does come back up, you can throw him back at me.
He's in the queue.
Okay. Hey, Kyler, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 19.
Okay, why aren't you vegan yet?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to, well, I wouldn't say it's hard to be, but there's just no reason to be because there's so much like animal, like the animal industry is already so huge. There's already tons of food being wasted on a daily. So me eating meat really isn't going to affect much.
Do you know what supply and demand is?
Yeah, but like not everybody's going to go vegan.
What is it?
If the supply goes down, then the demand is going to go higher.
Supply is when, so you're going to go in and make a demand, right? You're going to pick up that package. They're going to recognize it. They're going to replace the package that you purchased and then some because they want you to come back. They want more people to come back. If you remove that demand, they decrease how much they produce. You have more power than you think. They watch what you purchase.
Yeah, but
you have a lot of sway. Look, okay, here's another example. Here's another example. Do you know what the world percentage of vegans is? How many people in the world claim to be vegan?
It's got to be less than like 1%.
Right. Look at all the vegan products that exist already. Just 1%, and we have that much sway. Even companies that raise animals are making vegan alternatives. You don't think that's powerful?
I mean, it's
1% of the world, my man. 1% of the world.
Not
okay, so what is your talk that you can't do anything?
The vegans kind of fix all is that no animals get killed, but that's just
never
not
it.
Gonna happen.
Kyler, what is veganism? What is it?
Not eating animals, not killing animals.
It's against the exploitation of sentient beings. It's
okay,
a principled stance against. So it's saying even though the whole world may be corrupt, I am going to stand up in this world and I'm not going to demand that exploitation. That's what veganism is. If I were the one being exploited, I would hope that those that are a part of the oppressor group would stand up and say, I'm not going to demand that exploitation.
I mean, it's just never going to happen.
One person going vegan can save 100 to 300 animals a year. Yeah, that's a lot of individuals. If you were standing in a group of 100 humans, you are still having your own subjective experience, and anything that happens to you as one individual means the world to you, even if you're in a group.
Doesn't
what?
I mean, 1%, there's still billions of animals that are being killed.
Tyler,
there's still tons of food being wasted.
This is a fallacy. You're appealing to the nirvana fallacy. You're saying because I can't eliminate all of X, I'm not going to do anything about it. Can you eliminate all racism?
It's not that I'm not going to do anything
Can you eliminate all racism?
I'm just not going to
Can you eliminate all racism? 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 And if you don't answer me, I'm just going to move on. Can you, one person, Kyler, eliminate all racism in the world?
No.
Right. Are you racist?
No.
Right. Even though you cannot eliminate all racism, you still strive to not be racist, correct?
I mean, yeah, but like,
So
this
veganism
different.
is the same thing. It's the
not.
same thing. Just because I can't eliminate all harm in the world doesn't mean that I can't stop demanding harm. You have
But it's
more
still going to be an
responsibility than you
issue. So
think.
if you
It's
really
not,
did
Kyler.
care,
Kyler,
then you would strive
if
for
I demand
all.
someone, if I ask someone to shoot or pew pew another human, am I not morally culpable?
I mean, it depends.
What are you talking about? I just gave you the layout. I paid someone to pew pew another human. Am I
Yeah,
not
but
also
humans are
morally
not animals.
culpable?
Or humans are animals,
Kyler,
but we
shut
have.
up. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Again, with this disingenuous... You guys, come on. Come on. If I ask someone to pew pew... It's a TikTok word, David. Grow up. If I ask someone to pew pew another human, I am morally culpable. I demanded that person be pew pewed. I don't know, Lori. Am I supposed to be hanging out longer with these dipwads?
No.
Okay. Am I moving on too fast?
No, they're not even answering questions. It's just that they're pivoting and,
Yeah.
They think
All right. Yeah. All right, Alton. I hope that you're a step above the rest. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, it's not that I don't have anything against vegans, but like, what are we supposed to do with all the cows and all the livestock on Earth?
Just care for them until they pass away and don't have them procreate anymore. In about 20 years, we won't have any more.
That's fair enough. But would that not be stopping them from reproducing?
Oh, well, I mean, we already control their reproduction pretty heavily right now, so it wouldn't matter. We would just keep them together, or we could have them fixed so that we don't have to do anything else to them, or we just, separate the males and the females and have them just commune together like that. I'm not a farmer. There's sanctuaries that have figured out how to do this, and we could just scale up those sanctuaries.
Do you not think we could wait until they die of age and then eat them?
I guess you can, but usually animals that are elderly don't taste as good. They're usually more tough and gamey and just not as tasty. But personally, I don't see anything really moral or immoral with consuming someone's body after they naturally die. It might not be safe, speaking from a health perspective, but...
That's fair enough, yeah, but I think I have tried vegan steaks before, and I didn't really like them. I think I just prefer meat.
Right, but do you understand what's happening in order for you to get that animal muscle?
I mean, relatives of mine are hunters, and I try.
Okay.
They are as clean as possible with their hunting.
Yeah, but what if you didn't need to do that at all? What if you could get everything you needed from plants and you didn't need to harm or take away the life of any animal?
I feel like there's more protein in animals, and there's more benefits.
Okay, so answer my question. Let's say I have evidence that you can get everything you need from plants. I have evidence that you can get everything. Do you find it then a moral obligation to live vegan?
I know where you're coming from, yeah, but...
Well, would you agree with me then? Or would you still say that taste pleasure matters more than someone's whole life?
I think you've definitely changed my perspective on the whole situation. So I understand it better now, but I still think...
You know what I would do? I would go watch these documentaries. They just show you what those labels mean when you're in the store.
Oh, yeah,
I understand that you also hunt, but Dominion
those,
shows you... You've seen Dominion?
Are you on about the ones that show you like inside the factories and stuff?
Well, this shows you not just factory farming. It shows you also small range farms, like small local farms, small slaughterhouses, grass-fed, cage-free, humane raised, all those labels. Dominion goes over that.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. Well,
I
I
guess
better
the
get
question
going
that
here.
the question you should ask yourself, do you want your body and your capacity to suffer, do you want those things respected, or should people just do what they want to you?
I mean, I don't think a cow can actually understand those
I
types of
understand, but
things.
if you could answer my question, do you think that other humans should respect your body and not use you without your consent? Respect that
Yeah.
you have the capacity to suffer and are having a subjective
Yeah.
experience. Okay, good. I agree. And you think that you should respect other humans' bodies and not use them without their consent, right?
Yeah.
Right. And can you tell me why? Like, what is it about humans that we see in them that we go, oh, I don't want to violate that?
Well, I think we might have known the person, or
No, maybe it's a human you don't even know.
well, I just say it's because they're a human and they have
Yeah.
rights and
Is
stuff.
it because when you see another human, you see yourself in some manner? You know that you're having
Yeah.
a subjective experience, so they're probably having a subjective experience. You prefer to be comfortable and avoid harm. They also most likely prefer to be comfortable and avoid harm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I'm telling you that the animals, although it's harder to look in their eyes and always relate with them because they look different and they prioritize things differently, they are actually more like us than you think. And they prefer to be comfortable and avoid harm, just like you. And if you want that respected in you, you have a moral obligation to reflect that to other beings with similar capacities.
What about like free range eggs and stuff like that?
Would you like to be kept so that people can take whatever comes out of your butt?
Well, I mean, if it tastes nice.
You would be okay with being someone's slave because they like what comes out of your butt. You don't get to eat what comes out of your butt. They get to eat it.
I mean, there's a difference between a chicken and a human.
Can you tell me what the difference is? What's the
Well-
morally relevant difference that makes it okay to do this to chickens, but not okay to do to a human?
Well, I'm not really forcing it out of the chicken's butt. I'm more waiting for them to lay the egg.
I'm
and
just
then
taking the
taking
poop out of the human butt. I'm not forcing poop out of them. It's just coming out of them.
Well, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Just leave it there?
So there are people that rescue chickens and they don't consume their eggs. They just feed the eggs back to the chickens. It takes like 10% of their calcium to make each egg.
Well, could I not feed the eggs to the chickens and take some for myself?
No, because you're seeing them as a resource. You're using them. Why don't we do that to humans? Some humans produce really nice
I don't
hair.
think-
Why don't we imprison those humans that make really nice hair so that we can shave their head off to make wigs?
Could you not make plastic hair wigs?
That's what I'm telling you. Why can't you eat an egg alternative? There's just egg. There's mung beans. There's tofu. There's so many different.
Man,
I've just listed 3. There's many others. And if I told you that you're causing unnecessary harm to these chickens, like, why are you still trying to hold on to that? You should be, oh my God, thank God there's alternatives.
I mean, I don't see the problem with owning some chickens, and they're fed every day, they're watered every day.
All right.
They have
So
eggs a
chickens,
day.
before we mutated them, how many eggs did they lay out in the wild?
I'm not sure.
They laid 13, 1, 3. And they only laid them part of the year, and they were fertilized. They didn't often lay unfertilized eggs. Because it's a waste of energy. When you're out in nature, you need to conserve as much energy as you can. Otherwise, you have to regain it by eating it and foraging for it. And that takes more energy. So we took these beings out of their home where they were thriving on their own. They were part of an ecosystem. We took them out of their home. We made them mate with someone that they wouldn't normally mate with. That alone is an atrocity. If we did that with humans, what would you call that? Forcing a woman to mate with a male that she wouldn't normally mate with. What would you call that? Call it grape. We did this on
Yeah.
purpose, though, so they made a mutated baby that fit our needs. And we kept doing that. We took that mutated baby and we made them mate with another mutated baby so that they produced
Yeah.
more eggs. So
I
now
get where
instead
it
of
comes.
13, they lay 300 eggs a year.
Yeah, I get
They
where you're
that
coming from.
they suffer from this. When they get to older age, their eggshells are not as thick. They become thinner because they're losing calcium. They're aging. Those eggs can break in their cloaca, cause great infections. They have very delicate veins and such. It's expensive to take them to the vet. You think people that are buying dozens of chickens to have eggs are going to waste their money going to the vet? They're going to take the life of the chicken. So you're not only demanding someone be born into existence with this crippling deformity, right? They're producing eggs for you every day, but then you also take their life after serving you for so long. Does that sound fair?
No, not really. But I think
Right.
you're almost making out like the chickens are people.
They may not think like you. Like if I had humans that were of cognition of a chicken, we have people that are not even as intelligent as chickens, mind you, okay? We have humans of all different types, right? We find it immoral to exploit those humans that may not think like us. Chickens they just have a different body. I understand that you're what you're thinking about is a value system. Like, let's say we have the burning building scenario, right? If there's a human and an animal, in my bias circles, I'm probably going to save the human because I see more of me in the human. But that doesn't mean that that animal has any less value in general, especially to themselves, right? Just because I value that animal less doesn't mean that I can exploit them. And I'll give you another example. If the same burning building had a baby and an old person in it, and you save the baby, does that mean it's okay to exploit old people? No, it just means that you have a value system. That's all it means.
But I think humans have been doing it for thousands of years since the
Slavery has been around for thousands of years. Unjustly unaliving each other, because I can't say the M word on here. Unjustly unaliving each other. We've done that for thousands of years. Just because we've done something for a long time doesn't mean that it's right. And we often, as humans, as we go through time, we look at our past behaviors, right? We go, that wasn't right. We need to fix that. For like slavery, right? That was around for a long time. That could have kept going, right?
But humans have been eating food since as long as we can remember, hunting food.
Right, but I'm telling you, we have evidence. You can still eat food. You just don't need to use sentient beings. I have evidence right here. So what you can do, if you're feeling overwhelmed, but you're feeling like maybe this is true, because I'm just a TikToker, right? You can't take me at face. You have to go look this up yourself. I'm honestly here to just kind of crack open your walnut to make you realize you don't need to use animals. I have all these resources you can check out. Challenge 22, you can actually talk to a dietitian though. And they have 2,000 to 8,000 hours focused on how nutrition affects your health. So, and it's all free. They help you for 22 days. They help you meal plan based off of your preferences, your budget, and your specific needs, you know, and it's all through email. So you don't have to talk to someone on the phone or anything. It's just, you know, at your convenience. Nutritionfacts.org is just studies. They have videos on studies. They also have what's called the Vegan Dailey Dozen, which you can just look up on Google, Vegan Dailey Dozen. And that gives you a little checklist on how to get everything you need in a day. Really, really simple. And then ChatGPT, you can just ask it general questions. It can make mistakes though. So, you know, ask the questions multiple times or like use Google at the same time, you know, do double lookups. But what I like ChatGPT for is making meal plans. Hey, make me a meal plan that's high in protein. You can even say how many grams. I need 200 grams of protein. I know you don't need that, but I need 200 grams of protein a day. Meal plan me. It will make a meal plan for you. And then you can check it by throwing it into Cronometer, which tells you the macro and micronutrients of your food. And these are all free.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. But I better get going here. I got training in like 30 minutes, but I really
Okay,
enjoyed
take
it.
a
Thank you very
screenshot so
much.
you also get the documentaries because this is all great information. And it sounds like you're open, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. I screenshotted it. I've got
Great,
ChatGPT.
awesome. If you
Thank you.
if you watch Dominion though, come back and reach out to me, like private message or next time I'm live. Just tell me, if you think differently or if nothing has changed. I'm genuinely curious. So
Okay, I'll follow you. Thank you.
awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it. All right. Well, you have a great day, and again, thank you for being open-minded. Oh, Lori, did you want to say something?
Oh, no. I'll wait.
Thanks.
All right. Well, you have a great day, Alton. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
he
how it's
seemed
done,
pretty
guys.
Receptive. Yeah, he seemed pretty receptive.
Yeah. There were a few moments I got a little stern with him.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't. When you deal with trolls all day, sometimes you're like, this sounds like it's going down the wrong road.
Right, exactly.
But
I didn't know if you wanted Johan or Big Boy back up, but they're both in the queues too.
Yeah, you can bring them up if you want. Yeah. Throw whichever one you want.
Oh, okay.
We'll try again. Let's start over. Oh, yeah, Johan, I cut you off. Okay.
Yes. For
All
me,
right.
it's more important that we have local produced food, and also we have a lot of land in Sweden. We can't grow anything that grass. If that
Go ahead.
wildness, and we don't like to live in that kind of landscape. So we need have animal to eat the grass and everything there. In Sweden,
So,
we have a lot of
our
forest.
planet-
a lot of
our
people.
planet-
Let me finish.
Okay, your
here in Sweden,
phone
we have
keeps cutting out.
Okay, and a lot of here in Sweden we have a lot of forest and land mixed in the forest. So we need to keep the wildlife down so they don't destroy the food for humans. We have a lot of hunters here. We need to have too much moose and other wildlife. We have problem with car accidents.
So if we had a vegan world,
should we do with?
if we
Not
had a
the
vegan
wildlife.
world, we would reduce our ag land use by 75%. We would use less land if we stopped using animals and still feed over our population. Whole world.
You say less land, but is that local? You don't know how it looks
There's a
here
study.
in Sweden with
There's
our
a study.
society.
I have science. Do you? Or is it just your opinion?
Oh,
So I
said
have a
that
study that's
we
called
have a lot of
Reducing
areas
Foods in...
that you can't. Okay,
Johan, I'm sorry. You have a great day. You're not being receptive. You're just getting worked up. And I'm very sorry. But I just told you the world would be better if we all went vegan. You would have access to food. Plenty of food. Oh, he's still loading.
Yeah, I can't mute him when he's still loading.
Hey, big boy, are you there? Oh, yeah, never mind. What am I saying? You're just not loaded in. You'll have to, leave and come back. It's because sometimes TikTok doesn't want me to have a guest up, I guess.
Yeah, weird, huh?
Hello.
Hey, are
Am I
you over
audible?
18? Yes. Are you over 18? Are you over 18? Yes or no?
I will tell this that I have the
Just tell me your age.
Right.
Goodness gracious. I'll get to whatever you're talking about. Just tell me your GD age. Or at least say yes or no. Oh, we just had you. We just had that person.
Yeah.
Mr. Landlord, though, I'm going to pull him up.
Okay.
Hey, are you over 18?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
am.
over 18? What year were you born?
2007.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, it's kind of strange. So why are you talking about SA to like animals when I've literally been SA'd before?
Yeah. Do you know what has to happen to cows in order to make milk?
Yeah, I do. They mate.
No, that's not what they do. The farmer has to put on a glove
they
all
do.
the way up to his shoulder. All right, so now you need to listen. A farmer puts a glove all the way up to his shoulder, and he enters the cow. They put the cow in a crush, which they call a grape rack. That's their term. They put their arm up the cow's behind into her rectum to hold her cervix in place through the lining of her colon. So they're like reaching through her guts, basically, right? Holding her cervix
That has
in
nothing
place.
to do with a vagina, though. That's not even.
I know,
getting her
honey. You
pregnant.
need to listen. Listen. So the farmer's got his arm up the female cow, and in her vag is a little pipette of semen. Guess how they get that? They literally JO a bull. That's someone's job, to get a bull off. They put buzzy toys in bulls' behinds, and sometimes they use their hands to massage the animals until they go. That's bestiality. That's disgusting. Once they're done getting the bull off, they put that in a little pipette and they squirt that into her vagina, and then they massage it into her. She's not able to move. They massage that into her to make sure that she gets pregnant. After 9 months of being pregnant, they steal her baby from her within 24 hours. If they wait longer, it's considered more inhumane because their bond builds stronger. Cows are very maternal. If it's a boy, he's either unalived immediately or raised for 2 years and turned into veal. Cows are like dogs. They literally call them grass puppies. They love to play with balls. They run around. They get the zoomies. And if it were dogs being put through the system, would you find that moral? You can unmute yourself now.
It's not a human though.
Okay, so what makes it okay to do that to a cow? Do you think bestiality is fine?
No, I don't think that's fine.
So you agree with me that the farmer putting his arm up the cow is immoral?
But it's not for sexual
Oh, so if the farmer in his mind
gratification.
is thinking, this is lovely, I enjoy this, then it's immoral? That's it?
Yeah,
Has
I would
nothing to
think
do
so,
with the
yes.
actions being different? Are you for real? So if someone essays another human, but in their mind they're doing it for a job and they don't
But that's not a
actually get
human.
off on it? Get out of here, dude. Get out of here. Ridiculous. Animals are very similar to humans. They suffer. They have the capacity to suffer. And you, especially someone who's gone through an atrocity like that, that's terrible. That's terrible. I'm so sorry that you went through something like that. How can you turn and look at someone so innocent, though, and say, it's okay you do that to the cow? Do you think it's okay for men to put their other body parts into other animals? I don't understand people. When they, it's funny, you ask them, are you against bestiality? And they immediately, yes, that's wrong, gross.
Right.
You demand it, though.
Right.
You're demanding it.
They don't know that. They don't know what they're demanding. They just
She immediately went.
Yeah.
She went into denial immediately. Oh, they're
right.
not human, therefore they can't suffer. Oh, so
Right.
it's okay to do bestiality. It's only about the mindset of the person doing it.
Right.
That's
pretty
gross.
sick to me. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know how they could do
disgusting.
that. I think it's disgusting.
I don't think she even understands, too, that those animals also get legitimately SA'd sometimes. Like, those farmers are doing a job that they're telling themselves they enjoy, right? They have to enjoy their job or they're going to burn out.
Right.
So they're going to have to, and some of them, it twists them, and they end up seeing these animals as romantic partners. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. We
Oh, I
see
believe
them
it.
as products. It's
Yeah.
the reason why saying another human is wrong is because that human is having an experience. That human is scarred. What do you think is happening to these poor innocent animals that are living constantly in the present?
Yeah.
And they don't understand. They have no explanation. No one to give them counsel. Just terrible.
Yeah. Here you go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't bring up.
No. I know you didn't. Okay. I know you didn't. That was me. I'm sorry. That was my bad. I'm sorry. Thank you, though. Hey, J-Mac, are you over 18?
Absolutely.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan?
Because lots of different reasons, actually.
Okay. And those are?
I got a question for you first off.
I want to hear your reasons, though. That's why I have this live. So give me your reasons first, and then I'll let you answer your question.
Because I enjoy eating meat. I like to have
just taste pleasure.
No, I like to have proper fats going to my brain to actually function properly and be able to actually have a proper conversation.
/ nutrition.
Absolutely. And also, it's not the only way of genocide on animals and bugs and stuff like that. Like,
of course not.
No, well, you must eat avocados, eh?
Not that often, but I would definitely point out that any issue you have with crops, which is where you're going, any issue with crops, pesticides, land use, water use, all compounded by using animals.
Okay, well, also, you live in a house, correct?
Again, all compounded by using animals.
Okay, well...
Are you seriously gonna just appeal to all fallacies right now?
Well, no, I'm just saying.
So what is veganism? What is veganism? Let's start there.
Can I
no, you can't. Tell me what... No. Okay, well then you have a good day. You have a good day. Like, you guys, let's have a conversation. I'm not debating you. I'm telling you, you don't need to use animals. You're not right if you're telling me that I need to use animals or that you need to use animals. You're not right. Yes, thank you.
Exactly.
Pew pew. Are you over 18? Yeah, that's great that you're also heterosexist. It's terrible. But also, you don't really understand what you're showing me. I understand you think it's funny, but what if that was a baby in there? A human baby? It's terrible. Yes,
And
heterosexist
all
because
the chemicals that are in that food from Chick-fil-A, they don't even realize how many chemicals are in it just to make the bread and the chicken.
Yeah, I mean,
think before you eat, people. Look at labels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The other guy he's back up in the queue, so I don't know if you want to bring him up or not.
I don't really want. Oh, what about Amanda? That looks like a new person.
Yeah.
I'll bring up.
Yeah.
Bring up Amanda.
Yeah, he left. Okay.
If I just kick them, I don't really care to have them right back up. I want them to listen for maybe a little while.
Yeah.
Heterosexist is just more clear than homophobic. Homophobic makes it sound like people are terrified, like they have a phobia. And heterosexist is more clear about what it is. I'm sorry, I don't want your camera.
All right, that's fine. I did not know that.
Okay.
So, first of all, I will say point blank that from what I've been listening to, none of these has been conversation. It's been you overbearing. So, I do apologize if that's offending. You've pretty much been yelling and screaming at anybody. Now, my point is that I've even stated it in here already. I have quite a bit of scientific evidence, 99.9% of scientific research done on the different forms of dietary needs, diets and healthy nutrition and such. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not raising my hand. I'm pointing at my resource.
Okay. So most of them show that, veganism's being a vegan, unfortunately, has its side effects. But if you're one of those people that literally goes to the store,
I just want to be clear. You can be healthy on a vegan diet. You can be unhealthy on a vegan diet. If you want to be healthy, I have resources for you. You can be healthy on a vegan diet. If you just want to eat garbage food, I'm just telling you, you can do that without using animals. You can unmute yourself now. I just wanted you to understand that I'm talking about sentient animal rights. I'm not talking about food preferences. You're muted. The mute button's right there.
Sorry, must have accidentally whacked it. So I grew up out in the country. I worked on both large scale mass production and small hometown farm for dairy and for cattle. And none of them have used any of the practices you mentioned. Now, I understand that there may be some of them out there that are very definitely messed up in the head, but here in my hometown, that's not how we roll, okay? So we let the reproduction happen naturally, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
So I mean, okay, so for me, I'm not vegan. I am definitely omnivorous, just like humans are intended to be. Now, I have noticed that certain meat proteins do make my system more upset than others, but I have more issues when I'm eating just fruits and vegetables than I do with eating meats mixed in with it. So my meats, I typically stick to more, I stick more to fresh chicken. And when I say fresh, I mean farmer down the road. And
So
all of
what
his
I
are
would
free
say
range
is,
and everything. So
do you know what veganism is, though? Like, why
So
would
typically
someone...
when people speak about veganisms, they go, oh, well, they're just animal rights movementists and stuff. And I'm like, no, they're people that are trying to eat healthy for how they believe. They're
No, it was the
anti-animal
first one.
cruelty and stuff. So
Yes. I was gonna say, so veganism is actually it's a principled stance and a philosophy that is against the exploitation of sentient beings.
sorry about that. But honestly, not every person out there is exploiting this. So you
what I'm
make
saying
comments
is,
about,
if
well,
you
if
can
that was
avoid...
what if like the Chick-fil-A thing just now, you were like, well,
Yes,
oh, well,
they're
what if there was a
heterosexist.
baby in there?
Yeah,
Well,
what if it was a baby?
honestly, if you go into a survival situation, you're on a plane with 100 other passengers, some of them are kids, you crash, what are you going to do if there's no food around?
You're telling me it's
You'd
survival
start
for that
eating
person
yourself.
to have...
It happens every
It's
time.
survival. Amanda, listen. Is that
But
person with the Chick-fil-A
point
bag
is,
surviving?
humans are
You're
not
not
meant to
listening.
be.
Hey, honey, listen. You just got mad because I talk over people and you're doing it right now. I'm telling you, that person wasn't in survival mode. They bought that chicken because they wanted the taste pleasure. It's very similar to if I was kicking a dog for exercise and entertainment, right? It's immoral for me to kick that dog for exercise and entertainment because that dog is suffering unnecessarily, because I can go kick something else. I'm telling you, you're demanding the head of an animal be removed so that you can lick their muscle without their consent. I say that's worse than kicking a dog. You're escalating the violence. They are no longer able to have any more experiences. They are gone.
But plants are similar. You're doing the same thing to plants.
Honey,
And yes, we found that plants
don't
they
even.
communicate.
I'm gonna
Plants
kick
have
you.
that stuff.
You have a good
Now,
day. You have a good day. Plants are not sentient. I'm sorry I have to teach you that. They don't have a brain. They don't have a central nervous system. Animals share nerve endings with us. They have what are called nociceptors. Animals have the same nerve endings. Those nociceptors are what tell us that we're experiencing extreme pain. The animals have the same one. So when you see a knife being dragged across their throat, it would feel the same to us as it does to them. There is no moral right for you to use them. You don't need to. Of course, if it were a survival situation, you could justify almost anything. I could justify eating a human baby in survival mode. It's still not moral, but I could justify it, right?
Right.
I'm saying, like, even though you can use animals in survival mode, you don't need to right now. Stop doing it. They don't like being used. They have an interest in living. They have the capacity to suffer. If you think your capacity to suffer should be respected, why aren't you giving them the respect?
Right.
I don't like people coming up here just to try to beat me. Like, let's have a conversation.
Yeah. Because they're not going to be able to beat you. I mean,
I know,
yeah.
like we're talking about inherent rights. We're talking about someone that has the capacity to suffer, has the inherent right to not be exploited and used without their consent.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It's so sad. But I don't know. Let's see. Where are we at with time? Oh. Darn it.
I brought up her.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Her, that's fine.
I have a question, actually.
Are you over 18?
Yeah, 21.
Okay. Well, first, why aren't you vegan? And then I'll let you answer your question or ask your question. Excuse me.
I honestly just was never raised vegan, and it's honestly not even crossed my mind.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
So, what is your opinion on animals and stuff that are raised from family farms that have never been
it's still immoral.
AI and that do like
still immoral.
Range? Can I ask you why you feel that way?
Because it would be immoral to put a human in that situation.
How do you come to that?
Well, can you tell me the moral difference? What's the morally relevant difference between humans and animals?
I don't see how it would, in my opinion, I don't see how it would be bad for a human to have kids when they want, live whenever they want, and when they die of old age, be used for purpose for other people.
So why don't we do that with humans?
Because we just don't eat humans, because when you eat humans...
Why? Why not?
It causes, when you eat a human, the brain tissues and stuff that you eat from...
Don't eat the brain.
Ending.
Don't eat the brain.
I'm not sure. I've not done my research on it.
There were humans that have eaten other humans. They call us long pig because we taste similar to pig. So what I'm asking you, though, why is it that we see other humans and we find it immoral to exploit them, despite their intelligence or ability to reciprocate morality even? If we see another human who's sentient, who's, just enjoying life, but maybe can't take care of themselves at all, can't make decisions really, but they can make preferences, why is it still immoral for me to exploit that individual?
How is it exploiting, though, if you're letting them live their full life? You're not calling
So
them...
I force them, I'll explain. I force them into existence, right? I know a person that's going to give birth to this type of human, and when they're put on this earth on purpose, I know that they were going to be the way they are. When they were forced into this world to be handicapped and not up to the same par as rest humans, they also produce a lot of hair and poop that I can take off of them without their consent and sell and make a profit. Or use in my own gardens and make wigs. Is it moral for me to do that to those humans?
Are the humans living comfortable? Like, are you upkeeping them?
Oh yeah, I give them comforts. Yep, but they don't have their freedoms. They're my slaves.
Well, I don't. This is my personal opinion. I'm not arguing. I just don't see how they're slaves. As long as you're upkeeping them, you're making sure their hair is trimmed and they're not uncomfortable in any way.
I'm doing it not for their best interest. I'm literally forcing these individuals to exist. So this woman wouldn't normally have these kids, but I'm making her give birth to these kids that will never be up to par with other humans. So I'm making them exist. Every time one dies, I make her produce another one.
If that's the case, then I don't agree. But I said...
Right. Why is that immoral?
That's equivalent to rape. But...
Okay, yes. Her having to have the babies, I agree. Why is it immoral for me to enslave the babies?
That's just continuing on with the generational. From what I said, though, was if they're continuing to have the lady you had up last, where they raise the animals the same way around there as they do around here. They allow them to decide when they have or how many calves and stuff they have.
They don't do that because it's not profitable. And they need to make sure that they have the right amount of resources to feed all the mouths.
I'm just speaking about the farms around here. I don't know how they do it on other
I know.
farms.
So it doesn't matter how nice the farm is. It's enslavement. Doesn't matter how nice you treat your slaves. Enslaving someone is immoral.
No, I understand what you're saying. I was just wanting to get your opinion on it. Thank you for your time.
All right, well, how many animals do you want exploited for you? How many more animals will you demand be enslaved?
You can have your opinion and I can have mine. I'm going to go ahead and exit now. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
The fact that you can't answer that question is very telling. You recognize that it's hard. If the answer is 0, if you want 0 animals to be exploited for you, the only way to do that is to go vegan. And I know you ran because you're scared. You're scared because you know the truth. That you're hurting animals and you don't need to. You're kicking dogs for entertainment.
Right. Yep.
It's funny to me when they run because they think that they're safe, but really they just expose themselves even more. You should be a little more brave. Stand your ground if you think you're right.
Right. And come with science. Don't just come with what you think.
Right. And I do want to point out working doggos. You know, you already agreed that it would be wrong to do that to the humans. You immediately pointed out the SA, which I wasn't even thinking about, but yes, absolutely a big problem with animal ag. How do you think they keep making more animals? Someone is diddling in the animal bits. And you're demanding they do that.
Right.
It's terrible.
Well, she's still in the comments. She said she didn't run. But whatever.
She did run. She dropped down. She's like, we don't agree. It's like, well, that's why we're having the conversation. You running in the middle of it is telling me that you're feeling the grips of what I'm talking about. And you're too scared to change. So you're running before you fully understand everything.
You get the information, yeah. You're running before we get the information. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. You getting tired?
I think so. Should we do one more?
Here. Gabriel's up. I'm gonna pull him.
Throw Gabriel at me. Let's do one more, Gabriel. You're gonna be my last one.
Okay. There you go.
And Lori, also, I'm sure you know though, if you ever want to say something, just talk over me. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I don't. Like, I try to keep an eye on you to make sure if you unmute that I'll just point to you. But like if I don't notice, please just talk over me because I love when you come in with your insights. So
yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to.
No pressure though. At the same time.
Oh no! I don't.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Not at all. Hi, Gabriel. Are you over 18?
He's still loading.
Oh, still loading. Okay.
It's
really lagging today, huh? It's weird.
I don't think TikTok likes me. I think they are purposely slowing me down.
Probably.
Because this didn't happen in the beginning.
No.
But you did say that other TikTokers have been talking about this, so.
Yeah. It's been lagging for other people that are coming up, so.
Lame.
I don't know. TikTok was supposed to go down today. What the hell's going on?
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know.
They said go down today, so.
What? Okay, hold on. Let me look this up. Let's see what comes up. It says uncertain.
Uncertain now. Wow, that's good. They just keep coming back with crap all the time.
Yeah.
Uncertain. That's a good one. Uncertain. I like that one.
Uncertain.
Uncertain. No, it looks like the date 3 days ago. You know,
the date got pushed to June 19th. It looks like.
Yeah, they keep pushing the date. It's like 75 days, but then everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to go down tomorrow. It's going to go down tomorrow."
You can't believe anything they say. And yet you also can't discredit everything because sometimes they're telling you exactly what they're going to do.
Right. Right, exactly.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't think you have any more people in the queue.
I don't think so. All right, well, I'll probably call it there then.
Okay.
Lori, as usual, thank you so much for having my back and being here. And
no problem.
Yeah.
You're doing good. And I wish I don't know what's going on with the other people like that we were in before, the groups that we were in before, the other women. I haven't seen them up in a while. So I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen them up.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I'll do some research. Maybe people have dropped. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Everyone thought it was going to end today.
On this, you got to give me your full take on this.
I will. I'm going to do my homework. I got homework. Lori homework.
Brenda's saying,
all right.
Good job, ladies.
Yeah. And thank you, Lori, again. Thank you.
Yeah,
and thank
no
you to
problem.
all the vegans in the chat. Thank you for everyone keeping all those non-vegans in check. Yeah.
Are you coming up Thursday or is it Wednesday?
I was debating on going live tomorrow. I'll go live tomorrow because it's Earth Day, and
Yeah, right.
It'll be 3 p.m. But yeah, and the audience might be, but we'll see.
We'll see, yeah. Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay, so I'll see everybody tomorrow, 3 p.m. PDT, and if you're not vegan, go vegan. Otherwise, have a great vegan day.
See you later.